Welcome to Staff Works Explained. If you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, hit the notification bell so that whenever you upload a new video, you're notified. In this video, we'll be talking about SGR extension from Naivasha to Kisumu and Malaba in Kenya. The construction of standard gauge railway, phase 2B and 2C, which is an extension from Naivasha to Malaba through Kisumu, is set to start in 2025 with an estimated cost of 648 billion Kenya shillings. This was announced by Transport Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir while we welcomed a delegation from China at the SGR Nairobi terminus, where they were doing a feasibility assessment ahead of the groundbreaking ceremony. This 475-kilometer extension of SGR is expected to take 4 years to complete once it started in 2025. During the visit by the Chinese delegation, which was led by Zi Li, who is the secretary of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, where he held a closed-door preliminary project assessment meeting with senior government officials, and this was in preparation for the significant infrastructure project. Principal Secretary for Transport Ministry, with Mohamed Daga, emphasized the importance of this project, where he stated that the government is in top gear to extend the line to Kisumu and then to Malaba, thereby allowing Kenya to connect with Uganda as well as Democratic Republic of Congo. This multi-billion shilling standard gauge railway extension is among the key projects resulting from the bilateral agreements between Kenya and China, which were established during the visit by President William Ruto in China in September 2024. The SGR extension to Malaba is part of the East African Railway Master Plan, which aims to replace the existing meter gauge railway in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, among other countries, with further extensions which are planned to Rwanda and DRC as well as South Sudan. President Ruto sought for funding for this extension from Naivasha to Kisumu during the September 2024 visit in China. He made a request for a loan to complete the construction of phase 2B and 2C of the SGR, which is now or currently at Naivasha. The SGR has been a major infrastructure project over the last 10 years. The initial phase of the SGR, which starts from Mombasa to Nairobi, costed 327 billion shillings. The subsequent extension from Nairobi to Naivasha, which is about 150 kilometers, costed another 150 billion. And the phases have been crucial in enhancing trade and transportation within the country. China has played a pivotal role in SGR financing in Kenya, with the first two phases, 1A and 2A, being financed by China. China has also been engaged in other projects in Kenya. The loans from the SGR are primarily sourced from the Export-Import Bank of China. They form a significant part of Kenya's external debt. Overall, Kenya has borrowed about 477 billion Kenya shillings from China for the SGR project alone. This has contributed to Kenya's total public debt increasing and currently stands at about 11 trillion Kenya shillings, and China is one of the biggest creditors. Phase 2B and of SGR from Naivasha to Kisumu will cost 354 billion, with the last leg of 2C from Kisumu to Malaba bordering Uganda will take another 115 billion Kenya shillings. Kenya heavy reliance on Chinese loans has led to mounting debt obligation, with recent payments on the SGR loans becoming increasingly burdensome, partly due to depreciation of the Kenya shillings in the last 2 years. In 2023, the Kenya debt service cost related to Chinese loan were projected to be about 117 billion. This underscores the financial strength that these infrastructure investments have placed on the country economy, and that's what led to delay in extension of this part of the railway. The government expected when it reached Naivasha in Nakuru or Suswa, it would extend the project to Kisumu and then Malaba, but this delayed, especially due to failure to get funds from China. Earlier in May, it has been announced that the government has secured a commitment from Export-Import Bank of China, Exim Bank, to fund the construction of the remaining section of the SGR from Naivasha to Malaba on the border with Uganda. The then Cabinet Secretary of Roads and Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen, had said that the financing of the project will be done under government-to-government arrangements between the Republic of Kenya and People's Republic of China through the Exim Bank of China and syndicated loans from commercial banks. He added that the government of Kenya will fund the project through its Railway Development Fund. African Development Bank was also expected to contribute, while both Kenya and Uganda were to seek private funds for the project. The minister announced that they were in discussion with the private sector to see that they can structure the arrangement for them to take part or to take a large burden at very reasonable and concessional terms so that they can continue with the project. The Kenya government originally borrowed US $5 billion from Exim Bank to fund the construction of the 472 kilometers phase 1 of SGR from Mombasa to Nairobi, and then the 220 kilometer phase, which is 2A from Nairobi to Suswa, was also part of this arrangement. The remaining section, which are now the extended from Naivasha to Kisumu, which is about 263 kilometers, and phase 2C, which is from Kisumu to Malaba, which is about 102 kilometers. These are expected to cost 640 billion Kenya shillings. Repaying the Exim loan has placed the strain on Kenya economy, as you have seen, but the return of Chinese finance has given fresh impetus on seeking other commercial lenders as Kenya and Uganda try to raise around 6 billion for the construction of the SGR from Naivasha all the way to Kampala. For the Uganda, it has announced that Yapi Makanzi will be doing the project from Malaba to Kampala at a cost of 272 billion shillings, and then this is expected to be extended to the western part of Uganda and then move to DRC, and then Rwanda and South Sudan will also take over from there. So it is expected that this extension may be completed within a period of 5 years. Tanzania will be much ahead since it's expected that to have completed all the sections. So it will be interesting to see how these two corridors compete as far as transport of goods from the ports of Dar es Salaam and Mombasa are concerned. So be on the lookout to see how this moves, whether these projects will be started on time. Uganda expects to start its project this month, November 2024. Kenya has announced that to be doing its part starting 2025. So it will be interesting to see how this goes, whether these two projects kick off as expected and whether they will be finished within the stipulated times. With Kenya, we expect that this project will be awarded to Chinese contractors. Uganda has already awarded Yapi Makanzi of Turkey to construct the section from Malaba to Kampala. So it would also be interesting to see how the progress, given that Yapi Makanzi has delayed some sections in Tanzania. You'll be interested to see whether they are going to expedite the fees in Uganda, and also whether the Chinese contractor who will be awarded this section from Naivasha all the way to Malaba will be able to complete the project within the required time, given that the first two phases were completed even before the stipulated deadline. So it will be interesting to see how this progresses. So thank you for reaching this far. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also hit the notification bell so that whenever you upload a new video, you are notified. Thank you.